In a post-apocalyptic scenario when we're dealing with zombie vampires, physical media will have its uses. I agree. In that case, you are right. You are right. In that one case. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content on my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
I can help you! I can fix this! Let me save you!
With I Am Legend, let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty details, Jeff. So, we start. Oh my god, forget what I said. Thank you, Steve, so much for this 16 biddies. The opening of the movie gives me chills, so you have actually cured cancer. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. How did you know what I was going to say, Steve? But that is true, chat. When this picture first opens up, chat, we got a news report. And who do we have talking to the reporter? The reporter's saying, like, oh, this is goddamn wonder drug. It's curing cancer. And who's the person who cured cancer, chat? That goddamn Emma Roberts. And she comes on and says, oh, yes, we've done all these trials. And the reporter asks her, how many trials have you done on all these cancer patients who are afflicted with various forms of cancer? And she says, like 10,019. It's a very specific number, chat, 10,019. And how many people have you cured with your wonder drug? And she says, fucking smug as all hell, with a little smirk on her lips. 10,019. They go, oh, well, you, Emma Roberts, you happen to have found the cure for cancer. She's like, yes, we have. Or Emma Thompson, what the fuck her name is. Nah, she doesn't get my goddamn respect. She doesn't get my goddamn respect. She doesn't get my respect, Chad. It's not, I'm not saying, no, it's not Emma. Her name is Emma Roberts now, goddammit. I'm not changing it. Emma Roberts, Chad. You know what? If she, maybe if she didn't doom the whole planet, chat, then perhaps, I would call her by her actual name. I ain't calling her nothing but Emma Roberts at this point, just to spite her. But chat, she said, oh yeah, we cured 10,019 people. Emma Roberts / possibly Thompson, chat. I don't know. You guys say it's Thompson. I disagree. And then, chat, we cut because it was like 2019, and now we're in the year 2012 or 13 or something, chat. And we are following Will Smith, and he's driving a car. He's driving a real fast car, chat, and he's got a big fucking assault rifle in his lap, and he's got a German Shepherd named Sam, chat. It's like, how can he drive this car in the middle of New York City? And realize, chat, holy shit. New York City is an apocalyptic wasteland, chat. Nature is taken back. The concrete jungle, chat, has literally made a jungle. And he's just driving, and we see, by the way, I love the art elements of the CGI that hold up really well, chat. The cityscape, the billboards they have up, the signs is pretty cool. Especially in this scene that we're getting to. Like, he eventually ends up, chat. Like, there's a reason why he's driving so goddamn fast. Because he's hunting a herd, chat. There's a pack. There's a herd of deer. It's goddamn deer, chat. He needs to get those apocalyptic deer, right? And I thought, like, he's driving the car. He's like, oh, he's going to hit one of these motherfuckers. I'm like, yes, that's what I always wanted to do. But he's not going to hit him, chat. Just want to damage the car. But he comes upon a herd of deer, chat, and I guess he's hunting it for either two things. Either for food, which I didn't think it was food, chat, because, I mean, he has a lot of food to begin with. He's stocked up, chat. He's stocked up. Or it's for his vampire testing, chat. It's a big spoiler in the movie, but there's vampires in the movie, CGI vampires. And so he's going after these deer. And, oh no, they jump over like this cinder block barrier, chat, and they're hopping in between his cars. So he can't, force his luxurious vehicle through there. So he's got to go on foot with his adorable dog, Sam. And by the way, chat, the chemistry between Sam and Will Smith is amazing in the film. Like, when Will Smith is acting against the dog and with the dog, the movie is at its best. Now, those are the best moments. You care for it. Like, you buy this relationship, chat, because apparently, as we see, no one has been on the Manhattan Island, or, I don't know, maybe around the world for years, chat. Like, Will Smith is one of the few survivors, and we'll find out why. But he goes out, chat. He's on one of these goddamn deer. And this is the kind of the setting that I love. It feels very Last of Us, chat. I wonder if Last of Us took a look at this and go, we can use some of this. And he ends up in the middle of Times Square, basically, chat. And there's all these billboards for things that we eventually, funny enough, got. Like, there's this one billboard's like coming in like 2009, Batman, you know, or I think it was like World's Finest, where you see the Batman symbol with the Batman logo symbol with the Superman symbol in the middle of it. It's like, oh, that would be so cool. And then we got it, chat, and it was awful. It was the worst thing ever. It makes me sad. I think it's like, oh, look at that. You know, honestly, chat, and I'm glad. You know what? I think Will Smith was lucky because, yes, his family died, spoiler, and the world was taken over by a plague that killed 5 billion plus people, chat, and it had about maybe 12 million survivors, and the rest of the you know, 2+ billion, chat, turned to fucking vampire zombies. But at least he didn't have to watch Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, chat, Dawn of Justice. So there are small victories. They're all small victories in this. But he's going through Times Square, chat. Going through Times Square, and I love it. I love the whole setting, and he's tracking this goddamn deer. By the way, the deer, the CGI in the deer, awful. All the CGI in this movie's bad. I mean, there's some actually like explosions, like that's fine, but like anytime there's a CGI animal or CGI vampire zombie monster, it's bad. It's like, oh god, this you did not this doesn't look rendered at all. D. Carlox, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well. Talking about the shitty CGI deer, and that's the thing, Corbin. You bring this up. The budget for this was 150 million. Big Willie ain't cheap. True, he probably paid like at least 25 million for this, if not more. Probably initial fee 25 million, then probably another 25 in the back end. Would not be shocked. A lot of actors do. That's how Robert Downey Jr. made so much goddamn money from the Avengers and Iron Man films. He's made a fucking mint. But you have all that money and the CGI looks as bad as it does. I don't get that. I really don't understand it. I remember like CGI back in that day. You guys brought up Iron Man. That's a perfect example. CGI in Iron Man looks really good. Maybe it's slightly a little wonky, a little green screeny, but not like, oh, it's awful. Just like, oh, it looks pretty good. It looks very good. The movie's 12 years old and still holds up to this day. Iron Man CGI is better than some CGI we're getting in movies nowadays, chat. And I'm thinking this is a big one. I mean, it was a huge leap in technology. Or maybe they just didn't care. Maybe they just had a bad fucking CGI effects team work on this film, chat. But this deer looked like shit. So he's hunting the CGI deer, chat. And he's got it lined up, chat. He's got like an M16 or whatever. I don't know, fucking M4. I don't know. And he's about to shoot, chat. And oh god, a lion attacks. So I was like, whoa. I forgot about this in the movie. And a lion jumps out, chat. And a CGI lion wrestles the CGI deer to the street. And it bites it. It bites in and kills this chat. And then and then this whole other pack of lions, the dad lion chads like Mufasa or Simba or whatever, and these little CGI cubs are running up. And Will Smith, there's like a bit of a parlay show. They're just kind of looking at each other and going, "Sup, Big Willie, how you doing? You missed it, didn't you? Couldn't get this one." They're like, "I'll get you next time, you sons of bitches." And so the CGI lions just stare at Will Smith, and he walks away with Sam. Very weird scene. Now, I like the idea, the premise is cool, chap, because you're asking yourself, how the fuck are lions walking in New York City? It's like, I get it, nature's taken over again and everything, but lions aren't native to the New York State area, right? Not native to North America. Sure, mountain lions and shit. Sure, cougars and bobcats and all that, but not African lions. And the reason why is, chat, because the Brooklyn Zoo is fallen disrepair, chat, and the lions escaped, so it's like, that's cool. And they don't tell you that directly, chat. Matter of fact, there's a lot of good environmental storytelling in this movie where he explores apartments and things to get resources or whatever he fucking wants. Really, it's like it's a fucking smorgasbord of shit. And you'll like see newspaper clippings, for example, of Brooklyn Zoo falling on disrepair, animals escape. So it's like, oh, that's really cool. So you could assume that the lions escaped, or you can literally see little Easter eggs in the environment. And I admire that, chat. That's how it's also done in video games too. You might miss it, but it's cool that they actually had it there. So he's like, well, I gotta go, and then he gets a little beeper on his watch. He's like, uh-oh, he has to get back home, chat. It's like 5:30, and he notices the sun's getting a little low, big guy, getting a little low. So he says, Sam, let's get our tukuses back home. So Sam jumps in the car, and they drive home, chat, and they pull up to this very fucking luxurious New York City apartment, chat, like 3 goddamn levels, all right? I'm thinking, all right, you apparently were paid extremely well, whatever the hell your job was. Well, I guess he's the savior of mankind. His blood is like, has the immunity in it, chat. So that's why he was paid so much goddamn money. But he goes up the stairs to his house, and he has this alcohol bottle, because apparently he's masking his scent. Like, I like these little details, Chad. It immerses you in the world itself. So far, minus CGI lions, really good start. And so, thank you! Darkseid with the 5 middies. Be real estate in the apocalypse. Hell yeah, man. Do whatever the hell you want. But you gotta deal with goddamn CGI zombies and CGI lions. That's the only big issue. But other than that, yeah, free real estate, man. Hell, it's pretty good. But he's spraying like this alcohol on the ground shell all the way up to his door, so it masks his big willy scent, right? And then he goes inside. And we see kind of what he's rocking. He's got all these generators hooked up everywhere, so it powers the entire apartment, his little condo chat. And he's making some dinner. He's got a shit ton of food in there. And I don't know what the hell he makes. Shit, it's a very odd meal. At least he's eating fish of some kind. I thought it was a pasta dish, chat, but it's like it's a smorgasbord of various foods. And whenever he eats, his dog eats, chat, although the dog loves tomato sauce. And so Will Smith, he's always putting so much goddamn tomato sauce on the food. And he's like, here you go, the way you like it, disgusting. But you get the dynamic between him and the dog. Also, really cool is when he gets in the home, like the news is on, but it's just all these recordings of the news that he's had, chat. So you see, funny enough, you see like Katie Couric and you see Matt Lauer, which I'm like, ooh, that has not aged well. So stuff like that was pretty funny. And eventually, Chad, he's done with dinner. He does whatever his little activities are, and he goes upstairs, Chad, and he's giving good old Sam a bath, and he's having a back and forth. Like, he constantly talks to the dog, Chad. There's few scenes when he's just not engaged in a conversation with Sam. And Sam's just like, dude, I have no idea what the hell you're saying. But I appreciate you. Thank you for serving me the food with the copious amounts of tomato sauce. I do appreciate that. And he's giving Sam a good old bath, Chad, and making him behind the ears like, you like that, don't you? It's like you buy the relationship instantly, Chad. The chemistry is there. Great job in that regard. Great job. But oh no, chat. His fucking watch goes off again. It's like 7:30 or something like that. So I guess it's 2 hours, and then it goes to 7:30, another 2 hours. Like, oh, you gotta fight. And he's like, and then he has a flashback. Then it's Big Willie flashback time, chat. And listen, there are flashbacks throughout this entire film, so I'm just gonna save us time. I'm gonna save is vinegar. Well, thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. See, that's why you're here to correct me. You're here to correct me, chat, when I'm mistaken Emma Roberts for Emma Thompson, but her name is Emma Roberts from now on, goddammit. Okay, she doesn't deserve to be known as Emma Thompson. And when he doesn't use alcohol, chat, it's actually vinegar. But he has a flashback. And listen, there's a bunch of flashbacks in this movie, but I don't know each when they come about. So I'm gonna give you the entire flashback sequence here, chat. And so he's calling his wife. He's calling his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and he's like, you got to get off the island. We got to get going. She's like, okay, I got the other one. What's the little girl's name? Willow. I have Willow. They left Jaden, where the hell his name is, Chad, the Kung Fu kid. He's inside the home. He's secure. I don't think he made it. But they got Willow, Chad. That's the favorite kid. And so he's out there. We learned that Big Willie, Chad, he is a colonel in the military, and he's also in the disease control division, Chad. He worked with Emma Roberts to disperse the drug, or help come up with it. But now it got all fucked up. And so now he has to save the goddamn world. But Manhattan is being infected, chat. It's really bad. People are dying, and like, listen, we got to go because they're going to close the island in like a fucking hour. So we have to leave right now. And she's like, oh, Jesus, shit. And so they pile in the goddamn car, and he's heading to the checkpoint, chat, to the bridges so he can take a ferry out off the island, chat, and get to Jersey. Jesus Christ, chat, Manhattan. You're escaping from Manhattan to Jersey. What are the goddamn odds? But there you go. And so they're going there, and Willow, she doesn't know what the hell's going on, Chad. She's got a little puppy. She loves a little puppy. Sam is a pupper. It's adorable. But she's just like, I don't know what's happening. Just look at me. Pay attention to me. Mom, Dad, what about all my presents I left behind? It's like, Willow, that is not the time to think about your presents, okay? We're thinking about our lives and our safety, all right? So shut up. But she can't shut up, Chad. She's like, look at the butterfly. It's like, I don't care about the butterfly. Will, and even Jada Pinkett Smith's like, honey, you need to be quiet, please. And they keep on driving, and he's telling Willow that, listen, we got to get the hell out of here. It's or Jada, whatever. We got to get out of here. It's spreading, and there's vampire zombies coming out, and it's bad. And so as they're going to the checkpoint, chat, oh no, a sick person kind of falls in the car and goes, and he vomits. He projectile vomits like all of his tum-tum stuff and blood, chat. It looks really bad. And this scares the shit out of Will. It scared the hell out of me, chat. I'd be crying with her as well. And Will Smith's like, move. He just hits the guy with the car, chat. He's like, he's already dead. Boom! He gets him out of the way, and he goes all the way up to the checkpoint. And he's like, all right, he's got his military guys there, so they go to the front of the goddamn line. So all these people who are like, they do the check, chat, kind of what we have now. And this is very timely with COVID. Everyone's wearing masks and things. It's like, oh shit, wow. It's a scary version of COVID, and everyone's getting scanned, seeing if they have the fever, any of the symptoms. If you get scanned, you're green to go, and you get to leave. You get to go on a ferry or a helicopter or something. If you're red, then you're dead, and you get the hell out of there. You go to the sick people line where you can be sick. You can be sick and die, and so. Will Smith, because he's a colonel and because he's the savior of the goddamn planet, he gets to go to the front of the line. And he gets up there. And, oh, thank you, Dark Side of the Five Base. What timely concept? I know, right? It's pretty good. Thank you. Thank you, Dark Side of the Five Biddies. Mecca Howard Stern, quiet time. A quiet time in regards to like Will to shut up. Yeah, no, it's quiet for her. She's like after the diseased maniac hit the car and vomited his insides at her, then I'd be like, okay, now it's quiet time. Now it's quiet time. But. So they're at the front of the line, chat. They scan Willow. She's good. She's good to go. They scan Big Willie. Of course he's good to go. She's the hero of the goddamn movie. Then they scan Jada Pinkett Smith. And they're like, uh-oh, chat. She's red. She's better off dead. And they tell her to go to the sick people line. And Will Smith goes, no, scan her again. He's yelling, chat. He's yelling very loudly. They got their guns on him. He's like, I am a colonel with the U.S. military. You will lower your goddamn weapons and you will scan my wife again. Motherfucker. They used one motherfucker in the movie, chat. I thought it was placed properly. It was placed properly. And they scan her again, and she's green. I'm like, I don't know how that works. Clearly, this technology is not accurate. So you could be letting a lot of sick people in, or past the quarantine zone, or you could be sending a lot of healthy people to the sick place where they're getting infected right now. It's bullshit. Oh yeah, the disease has gone airborne, chat. Originally, it was just through contact, but now it's gone airborne. But there are people who are immune, like Will Smith, and so he gets his kids through, and he gets them on like the last helicopter, chat. And the military guy's like, "We're about to blow the bridge. About to blow the bridges, yeah." And Will Smith is like, "All right, listen, I'll meet you at your mother's and stuff. I got to stay on the island to fix the situation. I'll contact you in 2 weeks, okay? We'll get in contact in 2 weeks, but stay safe. Buy a bunch of food. I'll meet you out there." And right when this is happening, chat, the helicopter's lifting off. Fucking military F-16s, chat. They bomb all the bridges in New York City, Brooklyn. All those are gone. So if you were on that bridge, you're fucking dead. And if you wanted to escape the island via the bridges, you cannot. You are now locked in, chat. You are locked in. It's now Escape from New York with vampire zombies. It's pretty fucking horrible. Pretty fucking horrible, chat. So, I know. No, he traded Jada for Sally Richardson. No, I know it's not Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm doing it for the sake of comedy, Andy. Jesus. Stay with me here. Stay with me here, Andy. So they bomb the bridges, and the helicopter's lifting off, and Will Smith looks to the right, chat, where a bunch of CGI people, just like the worst, horrifically rendered, like just a lack of rendering, chat, on these CGI people swarm a helicopter. They're like climbing on top of it, and the propellers shred them up and everything like that. And it fucking flips out. It's like, oh shit, I'm losing control. And right, chat, Will Smith's like, oh shit, that helicopter is spinning on control, chat, is aiming right for Jada Pinkett Smith, who's not Jada Pinkett Smith, chat, but I'm saying for the sake of fucking convenience, and Willow, and but it cuts before we see what happens, chat. But we can assume that they died. So that's dispersed throughout the entire film, chat. I'm not going to cut to each moment where that happens. I want to give you the full breadth of the flashback. Eventually, we cut back to Will Smith. He's just like, oh Jesus, and he starts locking down his apartment, chat. Has all these giant iron cast windows and everything, like shutters, that kind of thing, locking down every single one. Windows and doors and everything, chat. And it's like anything there's like an open like hole in the goddamn house, you gotta shut that shit down. And then we hear them, chat, because Will Smith, he's like, I'm not going to fucking bed in my regular bed. I'm gonna hide in the tub with my dog, Sam. And we hear them outside, chat, going, ah, ah. It's like, okay, we're really cool. Like some of the monster, you're taking it slow. And like I feel unease with the sounds. The sound effects are pretty good. You know, they're pretty good. Eventually, it's a brand new day. Yeah, he gets up, chat. He's feeling pretty goddamn good. And he's fucking working out. We see him doing some curls, chat. We see him doing some chin-ups and everything. And he looks fantastic, chat. He doesn't look like steroid, like he's like inject himself with steroids. No, he looks natural, just ripped. Just ripped, chat. He looks great. And he's getting some good old cardio in there too. Sam has her own little treadmill, so they do it side by side. They do everything together, chat. And this kind of we get like another day in the life of Will Smith. And he has a good breakfast, chat. He's watching more of goddamn Matt Lauer and all his shenanigans, chat. Not the harassment, but the other stuff on camera. And he's like, all right, time to go out and rent a new movie, chat. Because, so you physical media people, congratulations. You would win in this situation. I would be fucked if I had streaming things because I wouldn't be able to stream anything, chat, because there'd be a lack of internet. But he's going to go to the video store, chat, to pick up a new DVD because Blu-ray does not exist at this point. And he drives all the way out to New York. And he has, like, downtown New York, and he has basically set up groups of mannequins outside of places he goes to on his daily excursions, chat, to kind of like resemble normal life. Thank you, Darkslayer, for the 5. See, I told you, you're right. Listen, Darkslayer and everyone else, in a post-apocalyptic scenario when we're dealing with zombie vampires, physical media will have its uses. I agree. In that case, you are right. You are right in that one case. So he goes to the video store, chat, and he's just talking to all these mannequins like, hey, how you doing, Fred? I love that orange hoodie. That's a new orange hoodie, isn't it, Fred? He's talking to everyone, chat. He goes to the section. He brings back the DVD that he had, chat, replaces it, whoop, and gets a new one, chat. Is it fucking Shrek? You goddamn know it's Shrek, chat. It's one of Will Smith's favorite movies. And he picks that up, and he looks to the side, though, chat, because there's a fine-ass mannequin right to his right. And he's like, he's so nervous, chat. He's like, I want to say something. I want to talk to her. And he's like, So he goes to the counter where another mannequin, and he's like, hey, how you doing, Ralph? Hey, I want to ask you something. He's just fucking insane. It's subtle, but like, Will Smith's crazy. That's what it is. He's absolutely fucking insane. That's great. So he's like saying, who's that new mannequin over there? And he's like, nah, I don't want to talk to her. That'd be awkward. It'd be weird. And then he leaves. He just gets going. And then we get to see like all sorts of other things that he does during his day. He at noon, he has like a radio signal that goes out where I will be at like the New York City Pier near the Brooklyn Bridge. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. If there's anyone out there, go there. That's where I'll meet you. And he goes there, chatting. He's doing various things. But no one to shut up. And he does other activities too. He has his own crops. Like basically, he's converted Central Park to his own irrigation and little farming compound, chat. So that's where he gets all his corn, his various other vegetables and things. So it's cool that like it's setting up that he's been here a very long time. They say 4 years, but based on just how much stuff he's been able to do, it feels longer, chat. I originally thought he's been there for 7 years. I guess it's 4, but it feels longer to me. And eventually, to end his day, Chad, he goes back home because now it's Science Day. It's Science Day, Chad, and he's got to check on his samples. And he goes downstairs to check on the cure because he's working on a cure, Chad. He's a scientist after all. And we learned there that his blood is immune from the airborne disease, Chad, and the bite of the zombie vampires. And he goes down there, Chad. And what are his test subjects? Rats, Chad. Really poorly rendered CGI rats. And he opens the fucking lights and they're all going at him. And he's like, looks like that didn't work. He notices some of them are dead. But he did notice one thing, Chad. One rat is kind of coming back through him. It's not as aggressive. It's got a little dilation in its eyes. Its skin pigmentation is going back to him. He's like, wait a minute, this sample's looking pretty goddamn good. You know what? I think it's time for human trials. Time for human trials now. That's good. And so the next day, chat, he's just out there with Sam doing his thing, hunting for another deer. He's like, I need some deer meat. So I guess he's hunting for food, chat. Needs some venison. Maybe make some deer jerky. That'd be good in the apocalypse, chat. Some good old deer jerky in the apocalypse. That's appropriate. That's fucking appropriate. That's setting appropriate. And so he's going out there in his fucking fancy car and shit. And but then the deer, they get into a place where he has to get on foot. So him and Sam are hunting this thing. And Sam gets a little deer crazy, chat, because one deer bolts into a building. And Sam goes right into it. He's like, Sam! Because they don't go in buildings. You never go in a goddamn building because that's where they live. So they do a good job establishing, like, you don't go in there, all right, no matter what. Unless, whatever situation, like, you absolutely have to. Most of the time, you do not go in there. And he's like, fuck. And he goes in there, chat. And the setting here is really cool because it's just an abandoned building. It's been decayed because nature's taken it back, chat. And there's no music playing. They really do set the scene well. And it's just him walking through. Like, Will Smith sells this moment. Like, everything in the movies at this point so far, minus some of the CGI, has been great. It's been tremendous. And he goes inside this building chain. He's just looking around, and it's very hard to see. Even the little light that he has on his gun is hard. He does something that I think is really cool, where he doesn't want to alert the vampire zombies, and so he constantly puts his hand on the light like this. So he does it like like really quick, so he sees what's in front of him, but he doesn't alert anything either, because they have a slow reaction time when it comes to light. It kind of blinds them, but he doesn't want to do it, wants to do it so fast where they don't attack him. And so he's going up there, a stairs chat. He goes up the stairwell. He knows like a shit ton of blood, and he's like, oh shit, because he hears this. He's like, oh Sam, Jesus, and he goes up the stairs chat, huge blood and everything. He passes by the stairwell and he sees like a muzzle. Oh, is that Sam? It's the deer. Thank God it's just the dumb fucking deer that got it, chat. I'm very happy about that, but he still doesn't see Sam. And he continues going up there, chat. And he's like, he goes around a corner and like into like a kind of like a atrium area. It's like a regular office building, right? But it's a fairly large area. And he does the light thing, and there's a whole fucking bunch of them just going, and it's a disturbing image in the dark. The problem is, chat, the CGI is just so bad. When we see him in broad daylight, oof, it looks bad. But like, this is still kind of working for me. It's like, okay, at least you're keeping them in darkness. At least that's how you should keep them. But they're all going like, 'cause they're breathing really fast. And he's like trying to back away slowly. Chat. By the way, I guess it's the bank, because the floor is just layered with like money and like goddamn bundles of $10,000, chat. Just hundreds and hundreds everywhere. But it's fucking worthless in the apocalypse. You might as well burn it, chat. You might as well burn it to keep warm. It has no value anymore, which is so funny. But eventually he moves away and he goes into like a larger office area, and he's looking for Sam. He's like, Sam. Eventually, he does see Sam all the way down at the end of this of the office area, and Sam's underneath his desk, and Sam's just like standing there, just like terrified. And Will Smith's like, Sam, we gotta go, Sam, we gotta go. And then Sam, you should have warned him, because Sam just fucking keeps backing up, and Will Smith's like, oh fucking shit, and he turns around, and it's it's a CGI vampire zombie, and it looks bad. The thing is, the CGI didn't look good for 2007, but it especially looks bad now. It's rough. It looks like he's fighting cartoon characters. It looks like he's fighting like Pixar characters, chat. That's what they look like to me. And he fucking, this thing attacks him, chat, but he throws it off, he shoots the shove, but that alerts all the other ones. And he fucking he does that Tom Cruise running, chat, chopping air. And they notice Will Smith, he notices a little hole to the outside. It's like, Sam, go in that, go in. The dog's like, fuck yeah, I will. And he goes right out, chat. And Will Smith, he keeps running. He's like, I'm going to run towards the fucking window and just pray to God that I'll be able to make it. And these things jump on him, chat. He goes, they all fall out the fucking window, and they boom. Thankfully, the one was on his back. He lands on his back, chat, and it's a nice smushy meat pillow that he lands on. But these all things are because they hate the sunlight. They hate the sunlight. And they're like, whoo! That was an adventure. But Will Smith, he's like, good. Now I found like a hive. I think he calls him like a hive, chat. He finds a hive. And I need a human test subject or a vampire zombie test subject. And so he sets up this trap, chat, where he lays a tarp on the ground, puts out some of his blood, nice little drizzle, nice little big willy blood drizzle, chat. And he, he's like, sets it up. He's like, all right, I'll activate it with a pulley system by pointing on a car. It'll come out, chat, and he goes, boom, into the butt of his gun, and he takes it back home. And so it takes like less than 60 seconds for this to happen, by the way. So these things are very fucking hungry. Little blood, chat. He notices some movement. Thing goes, boo! And this creature goes, ah! This thing, and Will Smith goes, bah! He just hits it, and it's like, yeah, you bag one. But apparently, chat, one of the creatures was not happy about it. He's like, you fucking took my girlfriend! I hate you, Will Smith! And he vanishes. He vanishes, chat. He was very upset that Will Smith took the zombie vampire man's zombie vampire girlfriend, chat. As you would be, chat. A big willy drizzle. Just a good big willy drizzle. All right? Hashtag a big willy drizzle, chat. So, spoiler. I know it's a spy. No, we'll get to it. This is a spoiler review, isn't it? I'm Destruction. It's a spoiler review. Never good to. No, it never did. It looks even worse in 2020. Though he takes her back home, chat, and gets her on the good old operating room, sees his rat friends, and she's like, I am now administering, like, he checks her, it's like, yep, it's all fucked up and weird and CGI and zombie, right? So he injects the rat sample inside of her, And he's like, ah, shit, looks like his pupils are dilating now. Breathing is easing up. Core temperature is lowering. We got some here. And she goes, this hurts. And she tries to eat him. She's like, ah. And then and it's just the flatline shit. He's like, ah, shit. And he gets like, I don't know, some adrenaline shot. Boop, and it brings her back. And she's all that shit. And he's like, well, that sample was bogus. That didn't work at all. And I'm very frustrated with this situation. Yeah, things have not been going Big Willie's way, chat. And next day, or however many days later, don't know. We cut, and he's just driving around. You know, New York City, chat, having a good time with Sam by his side. And then he notices, chat, he looks to his left, and he sees fucking Fred just walking around. He's like, the fuck? Fred the mannequin, chat. Fred the mannequin. You see, like, Fred the mannequin just, like, turn around his head going, what? And he's like, what? And he stops the car immediately, and he just goes down. He just goes down this road, chat. Looks like a train station. It's like a train station, chat. And he gets us like, Fred! And it's actually a really good moment here. I love this. I love this goddamn scene. It's like, Fred, you tell me if you're alive, Fred, goddammit. Fred! And he's just screaming at this mannequin. It's just like, Will Smith, you gotta relax, man. He's like, no! And he's just like, no. I'm like, Fred's just like, Will Smith, you gotta relax, man. I'm talking to you, man. No. And he goes and gets his gun, chat. And he's just like, Fred! He just shoots him. He just shoots the shit out of the mannequin, chat. Fred is fucking dead. Fred's dead, baby. And then he just starts looking around. He's like, oh, you fuckers trying to get me, aren't you? And he just starts shooting indiscriminately everywhere, chat. And it's like, I know, this the part I really dig. Like, him, I wanted more of him just losing his fucking mind. I think that would have been great. He gives a great performance here. It's funny, but it's appropriate for what he's been going through. He's been alone for, they say 4. I think it should be longer than that, however many years. All he's been able to talk to is a dog and mannequins. You know, he's surrounded at night by zombie vampires. Like, you should be absolutely insane at this point. That's what I love it. Damn it, Fred, damn it, because he shot Fred. And he goes over there. He's like, oh, Fred, are you okay? He's like, Fred, I'm sorry, Fred. He's crying. I'm sorry, Fred. He goes over there. He's got that Tobey Maguire ugly cry, chat. He's like, Fred. And he goes over there, chat. Steps in a puddle, and that activates. He's like, the fuck? It's like a click. And he's like, what? And he looks to the side, and this fucking car just tips over. And then this little his little rope gets around his ankle, chat, and fucking flings him in the air. Boom! Hits the back of his head against the concrete asphalt, chat. Against that asphalt. He's like, and he's derpy Will Smith from now on. He's a little extra derp now. He's a little slow in the draw. And he knocks himself out. He's knocked out cold, chat. Severely concussed, vision blurred. And he just hangs up there for like most of the day. So that's brain damage right there. Brain damage and probably vision damage as well. Because your vision's in the back of your head, chat. That's where part of your brain, your vision's located. So that's where typically when you fall in your back of your head. I actually like this. You fall in the back of your head and you see spots. Or it can cause temporary blindness if you damage it. Or permanent blindness in some cases, depending on how hard you hit your head. So please be careful, chat. Wear a fucking helmet if you're riding a bicycle, chat, or any other vehicle where you got, it's not a car. When they make people to play mannequins are scarier than your CG. Yes, the mannequins are horrifying, chat, because Fred is moving around. It's like, what the fuck was that? Like, that was pretty cool. Like, they should have had more of that in the movie, but they sadly don't. Corbin, this makes me think of that YouTube video of the boom mic guy for that. Yes. with Kevin James. Those are fucking hilarious shit. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Kevin James, but he's been in some good stuff. I've watched King of Queens. I thought it was fun in King of Queens. Really liked him in that Becky movie. He was fun as that neo-Nazi. He was pretty fun in that. But his little boom mic guy videos are really good. I would highly recommend. The I Am Legend one is very funny. But he eventually comes to, chat, and his watch is going off, and it's like beep beep beep, and it's way past 5, it's way past 7, it's almost sunset. He's like, oh fuck, and so he's and the dog Sam's just like, oh god, Will Smith, please, is barking, yapping at him, trying to help him. He can't do anything. I don't have thumbs, Will Smith. I don't have thumbs. It's too bad. So Will Smith, he's like, I got you, Sam. And he grabs a knife from his Bucci. He starts cutting him. He's so fucking concussed. He's just messed up. Ace Rock!
I know your secret. Your dirty
secret. Ace Rock, thank you for the subscription, my man. On a 3-month streak in 5 months. Thank you so much, Ace Rock. Welcome to the stream. Just talking about Big Willie, who is severely concussed. He's a little derp now. He's a little derp. Ace Rock. Oh, thought you were gonna get you that. Not at all, Ace Rock. It always gets a little bit juicier. A little bit juicier when you're around, Ace Rock. Good to see you, bud. Indeed. But chat, he's working on, he manages to cut himself, but he fucks up the fall. Because what happens is he's falling, chat. He has the, I don't know, I think he lands, so he cuts it, and I think what happens is one of the contraptions that activates the trap, he falls on top of the chat and goes right inside of his fucking thigh. And he gives just he gives the very realistic, just like, I've just been stabbed by a very pointy thing that is now embedded deep in my leg, and it hurts. Oh, for the love of God, it fucking hurts. And his scream feels, it's not like a manly, like, oh no, it's like it's a screech. It's a screech when he falls in this thing. He's like, oh yeah, and he's just like, I gotta get going, and he just starts fucking dragging himself. Well, like, I get back to the car because the sun's going down, chat. The goddamn zombie vampires coming after him. And you still understand how fucking Fred got there. It's very confusing. And he's moving himself back, Chad, but then he notices the train station he was in front of, Chad, there's a big fucking hole in it, and he's hearing all sorts of movement. He's like, oh, fuck, this is a trap. So these zombie vampires, Chad, grab Fred, okay, and they moved him here knowing Will Smith would see that. So they laid a fucking trap. So they are very sentient, shit. They have intelligence. They can they set up the trap. I'm like, how did they do that? Like, they don't really do a good job. It's like, this is interesting, but they do not do a good job of establishing how intelligent or how they are not intelligent throughout this movie. And they're capable of, like, laying traps and also domesticating animals we're about to see. It's like, it's very, they're not consistent with it. 'Cause sometimes they are very human, and other times they're just monsters. They're just rabid monsters who just want to eat and feed and fuck. That's all, and shit everywhere. That's all they want to do. But he's dragging himself, Chad, and the goddamn boyfriend of the zombie vampire boyfriend, Chad, he's got these two zombie vampire pooches, Chad. These dogs, and he's like, well, I can't go out there because it hurts, but go at him. They're chasing after Will Smith. They go, the light kind of hurts him, and there's like a big chunk of light, Chad, like this beam of light between these buildings that's like a barrier between Will Smith and Sam. And Will Smith, he's trying to drag himself, but he's moving a little too slow. It's a little too slow. Eventually, the barrier closes. Will Smith gets to the car, but it's too late. They're all coming at him. Shady grabs his gun. Boom, boom, boom. He shoots one. But the other one's attacking Sam. He's like, Sam, because the thing is, chat, like, Will Smith, he can be bitten. He like, the airborne disease has no effect on him, and the bite has no effect on him. He's immune. But Sam, yeah, the airborne disease doesn't affect dogs, but the bite will. So it's like zombie vampire rules if you get bit. And so he's very concerned. And so Sam is getting all, like, you know, fighting the other one. He's like, Sam! But then the other goddamn zombie vampire dog jumps on Will Smith. He goes, just trying to get that big Willie face check, trying to eat it up. And all of a sudden, Sam just propels herself right into the dog, Chad. Boom! Hits the side of the car. But then the fucking dog, you know, the vampire zombie dog goes, just starts biting on Sam. He goes, no! And he shoots the shit out of the zombie vampire dog. Sam kills the other one, by the way. And they're like, stop. But Sam has gotten bitten, chat. She's gotten scratched. She's infected now. And Will Smith's like, oh God, Jesus. And it's fucking the boyfriend zombie vampire is just like, what's up? What's up? He's like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. And your buddy Fred. You betrayed me. Why you betray me, Fred? And he loads up Sam into the car and the drive back immediately home. Then we get the saddest part of the movie, Chad. This is the most emotional part in the scene. Not that stupid fucking ending. This is the moment. I'm fed up with this world, exactly. This is the moment. He goes back home. He's like, fuck it. I'm going to use any cure I have. So he injects the rat cure into Sam. And he just kind of sits down with her, and he just starts saying, he sings like Bob Marley songs throughout the movie. It's like, everything is going to be all right. That's all he sings. Chad, he's petting her. She's like whimpering. Just, it's like, oh, God, it's so sad. But he's noticing things. When he pets her, Chad, he comes up with his hand. It's covered in dog hair. Her hair's falling out. It's all matted. It looks like there's pus. And he looks at her eye. It's super red and looking fucked up. And he looks at her teeth, and it's already yellowing, and the gums are rotting away. And he goes, oh, shit. And And then eventually he like places his hands around her neck, and we cut to Sam, and Sam is like becomes CGI Sam, CGI vampire Sam. And he goes like going for Will Smith, but Will Smith just we don't cut. You know what? They didn't even need to cut to the CGI Sam. That would because all you needed was the sound effect going and all it would have been was then Will Smith, because Will Smith's face sells the scene. That's all you need. You didn't need fucking CGI. Just focus on Will Smith. Okay, he's got the fucking money maker. He's a handsome man. He can sell this. He knows drama and he knows comedy, chat. It was a whole lot of goddamn emotions. But all you need was him going as he chokes this dog to death, chat. The only friend he's had in however many years he's been there, and he chokes Sam to death. And he's just like traumatized by it. He goes the next day, Chad buries her in the cornfield, which I don't know if I would have buried her next to my food, but he goes and buries her, chat. And at this point, he's just like, fuck it. Fuck it, I'm suicidal. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. I am going to he just wants to die at this point. He's just suicidal. He's lost everything. He's lost his wife and daughter. He's lost his dog, his only friend. When he's the only other actor in the movie, all he has left are these CGI vampire zombies. Like, I don't want to be with them anymore. They fucking suck. So I'm gonna do what I do best and kill them all. And so then we cut to the pier. Late at night, where it appears that Will Smith is sitting down at the end of the pier, which he typically does during the day between noon and 1, and all the fucking zombie vampires are just like, hey, when you jet, they're just fucking snapping, chat. They're like, yeah, here we go, and they just fucking go for him. They're all running towards him. But he bamboozles them, chap, because he actually put his car right in the middle of them, and they all passed him by, and he goes, and he turns out, I was like, my turn, motherfuckers, and he goes right into them, he just starts hitting them with his car. Basically, his car is just, like, the guy is like a blunt instrument, chat, just ramming on them. They're getting cut under the wheels and getting torn apart and shit, but it's PG-13, so there's not too much blood. There's a lot of, like, ba-bum, 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 that kind of thing. And the fucking zombie vampires are like, fuck this. And they start tearing up at his car, chat. And eventually the leader, very intelligent, all he has to do is go, and they do everything, very specific things, chat. They go for the wheels, they go for the windows and shit. And they try to push his car off the pier, but he manages to catch the tire shed, and he runs more of them over, but he crashes. He fucking crashes, and it tips over again. He's like, so he's really derpy and severely concussed. He already had a concussion beforehand. Now he's got, like, on the right side of his head, so it's not great. And he's bleeding out, too. He did not fix that wound earlier at all. He's still bleeding from that one wound. And the zombie vampire boyfriend, he's coming in there and going, you motherfucker, where's my girlfriend? He's just about to eat him, But then these fucking giant lights come on, chat, like these huge, UV ray lights come on. They're like, and they all run away. And then we cut to, what the hell's that actress's name? Oh, I always forget her name, chat. Always forget. Alice Braga, chat. Alice Braga. And then, chat, we cut to Will Smith in the car of Alice Braga, chat. And she's like, where do you live? He's like, I don't know. Because he's derpy now. And she's got a little white boy with him. He got a little white boy, chat. It's the whole nations of the world come together in this little microcosm. So you got Alice Braga, you got a little white boy, and you got Will Smith, and they're asking Will Smith, where the hell do you live? And he tells them the place to go. Eventually, he comes to, and he's on the couch, chat. And what is on, chat? Fucking Shrek, a quality film. It's also Will Smith's favorite movie. And he sees this playing, and he gets up. He's walking around. He's like, I love Shrek. He really loves Shrek, chat. He emphasizes the point. And he gets up, and who does he see in this kitchen, chat? Fucking Zoe Kravitz. Or not Zoe Kravitz. No. Jada Pinkett Smith. And also Zoe Kravitz and Willow. It was a cameo appearance, randomly appeared, and Willow Smith. He's like, what? But it cuts, chat, and Willow becomes a little white boy, and Jada Pinkett Smith becomes Alice Braga, and she goes, hey, how you doing? And Will Smith immediately grabs and goes like, who the fuck are you? Just like as you would expect him to do. They're like, whoa, Big Willie, whoa, step back now. Let's take it down a notch. Big Willie. He's like, oh. And she's like, I made bacon and eggs. And he's like, I like bacon, I like eggs. You want to sit down with us and have some bacon and eggs? Yeah. And he fucking puts the gun down, and they have some bacon and eggs. And Alice Braga explains situation. Her and the little white boy, they were on, basically, it's kind of like a Battlestar Galactica situation, Chad, except in the water. They were with the various medical vessels, the U.S. military. They went out to sea after the whole fucking world went kaput, and that's where they pretty much stayed there. Stayed at sea, Chad, visiting ports getting resources and going out to sea. Apparently, one of the ports they went to, some of the soldiers got infected by some CGI vampire zombies, chat, and they got the CGI infection, and that everything went to hell. And Alice Braga and Little White Boy, they managed to escape, and they heard Will Smith's broadcast, and she said, we were waiting there for you all day long from 12 to 1. We heard it multiple times. We came here and you weren't there. And he goes, well, I was there. Well, you were there later. And what were you trying to do? He goes, none of your business. And she's like, listen, we're going up to Vermont. He's like, why are you going up to Vermont? You like maple syrup? She goes, who doesn't like maple syrup? But other than maple syrup, we're going up there because there is a commune. There is a safe place. The virus didn't get to the Great White North. It apparently dies in cold, and the CGI vampire zombies do not like cold, and so that's where we're going. And he's like, no, there's no place like that. There isn't. And she's like, no, there absolutely is. We've heard the radio. So he's like, no, there isn't. And he throws his eggs and bacon on the ground. And they're like, oh shit, he's going off, which he should be, Chad. He should be erratic. And he's like, I'm sorry. I threw the bacon, eggs on the ground. I was saving that bacon. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just thought you might want bacon. He's like, I'm saving the bacon. I'm going to go upstairs. And he just goes upstairs, chat. And he just sits in the tub in the field position, just rocking back and forth. And he has a flashback. There's flashbacks and shit. Eventually, he comes back down. So he calms himself down. He goes back down there. The Little White Boy's watching Shrek. Chase watching Shrek on repeat. And Will Smith's like, I like Shrek. And he begins reciting every line in the movie. And like Eddie Murphy's dialogue, Mike Myers' dialogue, every bit. He's got the how they say it down, the pauses, every fucking verb and noun, chat, every exclamation point, he's nailing it. And the Little White Boy, Alex Braga, looking at him, he goes, I really like Shrek. It's like, okay, man, okay, we get it. Eventually, fucking the kid's tired and shit, and he goes, he's like, he needs to sleep. He's exhausted. He's watched Shrek all day. He's filled with eggs and bacon. Will Smith's like, I got just the place. And he go up into his daughter's room, which has been untouched since the events of the day she died. He puts her in there and goes to sleep. Eventually, Alice Braga and Will Smith, they go back downstairs, and Will Smith's like, okay, listen, humor me. How did you hear about this compound, this safe haven in Vermont? Thank you so much, Darkslayer. Ooh. Thank you for the 5 minutes. You're secretly reviewing Shrek. I know. I'm subtly reviewing Shrek. What if it just turns into Shrek? That would be fucking hilarious, chat. What if I stopped talking about I Am Legend and just immediately went into a Shrek review, did the whole film, and then, anyway, chat, I Am Legend. That's what I should have done. Fuck it. There could have been a great opportunity there. I should have done that. A movie review within a movie review, chat, would have been fucking awesome. Lost opportunity, though. I just realized it. It would have been cool. Look at the podcast. Welcome to stream. By the way, again, Mecha Howard Stern, good to see you. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. In case I missed anyone before, welcome to stream. Hope you're all having a very nice Monday evening. Currently doing my review of I Am Legend, also Shrek. And so he says, humor me, how did you hear about this compound, the safe haven, Vermont? And this is the part where I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Here we go. And she goes, Jesus told me. And he's like, oh, you're insane. Okay, that's why you're like, you need to leave now. You need to leave. She's like, God told me. And he's like, right. But like, who told you? She's like, God told me. I'm like, oh, now the movie could have been really interesting, chat. If he was dealing with some religious fucking fanatics that he had brought in his home unwillingly, and they were just there to take his research, that would have been interesting. That would have been cool. But no, she's just saying, I just know, just fucking JC, my main man JC, risen on the third day and shit. And God, his dad, he told me that there is a compound in Vermont. Not like there was a radio signal. They didn't hear about it yet. God, literally, Big G God told her there is a safe haven in Vermont. And Will Smith's like, what? Are you what? And he's like, listen, I'm gonna tell you what you need to believe in right now. And they go into the basement where he shows her the CGI vampire lady, and she's like, I've never seen one close up before. She's also surrounded by ice. She's got all this ice, and she's going, why are you surrounded her ice? So he's like, well, I want to bring down her core temperature and then administer the cure, see if that has any effect. And we'll see what happens. And so he brings down the core temperature and he injects her, and we'll see whatever, something's going to happen. And he's like, listen, that like God is not real. He has a whole thing where he's like, I don't care what you, God is not real, okay? If God was fucking real, he wouldn't have let something like this happen. He wouldn't have let fucking my wife and my daughter and all my friends and my family and all the innocent people here and all around the goddamn world die, all right? No, your God is a fucking lie, and fuck you for making me feel hope, okay? I don't want to feel hope right now, all right? This is reality. This is reality. We have to survive. And so they go back upstairs. She's like, she's crying and shit. But they go back upstairs, chat, and they, they're like, oh, we gotta shut everything down for the night. And so they start shuttering everything, and they're still arguing, having back and forth and shit. But then all of a sudden, because the sun sets, and they hear it go, they hear all the creatures and shit. And he's like, what the hell? And Will Smith asks her, like, wait a minute, when you left, like, what time was it when you brought me back here? She goes, it was still nighttime. They go, oh fuck, they followed us. They followed them there, and they had his scent and everything. His blood and everything led him right to him. And so now we get a siege movie, chat. We get a siege movie of zombie vampires attacking. I thought, you know what? It's like, oh, it's the end-all be-all event. It would be so cool. But sadly, it's not, chat. Because of how terrible the CGI is, it's just like, it's all right. And so they start attacking, and Will Smith, he does have some contingency plans, because he has fucking mined yards upon yards in front of his house. A huge goddamn ring. He's activating all these Claymore mines, chat. IEDs, and all the cars around his home are lit up with C4 and explosives. They all going off. They're frying all these goddamn CGI vampires, chat. But the boyfriend vampire, he's like, nah, he can't beat me. He keeps standing waves after waves after waves to attack the house, to seemingly kill them. And so Will Smith tells Alice Braga to go upstairs to protect the little white kid. And while he fights them, and he's got like a shotgun and shit and other weapons, he's blowing them, and they're biting and shoving him. He's fine. He's immune. He's Will Smith after all. Eventually, he goes back upstairs, chat, and he notices one of the windows was blown open, and he's like, fuck, they're inside. And he fights some more of them, chat. He kills some more. They fall down the goddamn stairs. Typical, last stand type shit. Eventually, he finds one just boring into the ceiling, trying to create a big fucking hole, a big crevasse, if you will, chat, so the other CGI vampire zombies can get in. But he's like looking around because it's in his daughter's room, and he sees Alice Braga and a little white boy hiding under the dresser. And little white boy's going, it's like, why are you crying, little white boy? Now's not the time. And the fucking, CGI vampire zombie's like, is that little white boy crying? And he goes down there, and Will Smith's like, and he attacks it. He attacks Jay, shoots the shit out of it. And the house is getting swarmed. At this point, Will Smith says, all right, we got to go in the fucking basement. We got to get down there. There is a tunnel that'll lead out that I have lit up for miles. It'll be escape route. We can get. I have cars there with supplies. We can just move that way. Or this place is just fucked. We gotta get out of here. And so they all go down the basement, chat. They're passing by, and Alice Braga goes, "Oh my God! Look at the vampire CGI zombie girl." And he looks at her and goes, "Holy shit! She's not as CGI. She's not as vampire and/or zombie, chat. She's kind of turning back to normal." And Will Smith goes, "Oh my God! That was the cure the whole time. It was just to lower her temperature. This worked, but we had to lower the base temperature down for it to take effect. You got to lower the internal temperature down." I was like, "Oh shit! This is the thing." But he's like, "Oh my God." So he's really excited, and he closes this big, side of it's like this plexiglass shit. It's like this bulletproof plexiglass, and because that's where the girl is, the zombie CGI vampire girl, and he closed that, and all the fucking CGI vampire zombies, they're down there throwing themselves against it and shit. And Will Smith's like, no, I can save you. I can save all of you. And so this is the part of the movie that gets, you thought the thing about her telling her, God told her to go to Vermont because there's a compound was dumb. Wait until this part, chat. Because he's seeing this happen. He's looking to Alice Braga, little white boy, they're crying and shit. And then the main vampire boyfriend, chat, he's throwing himself against the window, not listening to Will Smith at all. Keeps throwing against it, and the glass is cracking, right? It's clacking in like various directions, it looks like. But then Will Smith, he backs up and he sees. Every time he hits it, chat, it spreads out, and it's angel wings. It's angel wings, chat. That's what it is. And so it's God basically somehow telling Will Smith, I got you, Big Willie, okay? Give Alice Braga, my chosen voice of me, the cure. Give her some of that Big Willie drizzle, okay? And they can take off to the Vermont, right? And then you can fight them right here. And he goes, got you, JC and God. And he's like, hey, here's the Big Willie drizzle. Go out there. You're going to find the cars. Just hightail to Vermont. God is good. God is great. She goes, hell yeah, God is good. God is great. And so then he grabs a grenade, chat, and epic music and shit. And the zombie, CGI zombie vampire throws himself against the glass, breaks. And Will Smith, he throws himself against it. And boom! They explode. And then we cut. And I'm gonna do the alternate ending. I'm going to the theatrical version. But we cut to Alice Braga and the little white boy, and they get to the Vermont, chat, and the narration, all that. We got the cure and shit. With the compound's there. JC, God was right. They welcome them with open arms. You see a church predominantly featured in the background. It's like, okay, I get what you're doing. And they say, I gave them the cure somehow. What the fuck are they gonna do with it? I gave them the Big Willie Drizzle. And with this cure, we were basically just saying that we were able to cure the world. And this is Big Willie's legend. He is our legend. He was his own legend. I am legend, chat. And there you go. I am legend. Credits and things. Now, the original ending, chat, is much better. It still has issues with the CGI vampire stuff, but the narrative was better. In that where the the zombies and the CGI zombies, they're coming down, they're attacking the glass and everything, but then they stop and they look at it because Will Smith realizes, because the guy's looking at, he finds his mate. That was his mate that Will Smith took. And he's looking at her, and Will Smith goes, oh, fuck. And he's like, oh my God, he has a realization, oh my God, I am the monster to them. Because we also see this Walsh. He's been kidnapping them for years. Dozens, if not hundreds of them for years. It's like the original ending to the book or the movie or whatever. He realizes this. He opens the plexiglass window, and the guy just walks in there, and he picks up his mate, and he just looks at Will Smith, goes, fuck you, Will Smith. And then he just walks out. He just walks out, Chad, and the rest of his followers walk out. So it was that moment where they go, oh, I'm a legend to my own people, but I am the monster to them. That's the reversal. It's like, oh shit, that's actually kind of poetic. I like it. It rhymes. And so then we cut Will Smith and Alice Braga and the kid. They go to Vermont. It's the same fucking shit. They cure the world, but it was him realizing I've been a monster this whole time. I've been going about this wrong, and he finds his humanity again, Chad. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's a much better ending, in my opinion. I prefer it, but the theatrical ending is fucking garbage. It is hot, straight trash. Oh, so honestly, chat, like, I'm just judging it by the theatrical ending. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's hard. I think I was going to go a matinee, but just because it just talks down to you at the end, I might have to just give it a low matinee. Might have to give it a low matinee, chat. Yeah. With the alternate ending, I give it a high matinee. I give it a very high matinee with the alternate ending, though. DeColex, hashtag Big Willie Drizzle. Hey, man, that's what cures the world. It's only need a little drip of Big Willie Drizzle. It's all you needed. Because I'm not a human being. I'm an animal, pretty much. Big man, really not fond of the theatrical ending, to be honest. I'm right there with you, man. I thought it was hot poop. It was hot doo-doo. Turns out the community are anti-vaxxers. I guess so. They were like, oh, we don't need this. Ah! All right, guys. Stringing them up. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, terrible. Low high matinee. I give it a low matinee. That'd be my rating, chat. But hope you enjoyed the review, chat, for I Am Legend. I thought that was longer than I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be a relatively shorter review than usual, but you know how these things happen, chat. You know how these things happen. Glee, not bad for you. I almost expected a high rental for you. Oh, no, I gave it a low matinee. I mean, they're still really good. Will Smith's performance is great. His chemistry with the dog's amazing, but there are some... The CGI effects are terrible with the creatures. So, I mean, the explosion shit, that's fine, but it's the CGI stuff with the creatures is bad. There's no getting around that. And the last third, when Alice Braga and the kid come in, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It gets very odd. It's very odd, chat. So yeah, I give it a low matinee. Crawl Big Willie style. Hell yeah, it's all about that. Thank you, I'm Destruction. I appreciate it, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed the review. The theatrical is low matinee, the alternate is high matinee. No, yeah, pretty much. Would be better with the vampires being in makeup. Agreed. Because again, when you do something so human digitally, it'll always fail. I'm right there with you. Yep, that was the case. They look like fucking Pixar characters. It's odd. Ronnie, good to see you. Hey, Chris, I really enjoyed that movie review tonight. Thank you, Ronnie. Good to have you here, by the way. No, welcome. I guess I missed one before. Oh, I see you. Quint, welcome to stream. What is up with you, good sir? Chat, I'm going to take a momentary break. I'm going to refill my beverage.